Resident Evil 9 Requiem takes everything we know about the series and turns it perhaps a little more darker and more personal journey. You step into the shoes of Grace Ashcroft, an FBI intelligence analyst who returns to a ruined Raccoon City to solve a mystery that has haunted her for years. 8 years ago, her mother died under strange circumstances in a hotel here, and now similar unexplained deaths are happening. Instead of wandering claustrophobic holes just to survive, you're chasing answers tied to Grace's own past. The game opens up on the cracked streets and collapsing buildings of Raccoon City, but it soon expands to other locations, suggesting you'll move beyond the city limits in search of the truth. As Grace uncovers more about those hotel deaths, you'll switch between first-person and third-person views whenever you like. First person gives you that tight, unsettling feeling, a flashlight beam cutting through the dark and every creak sounding close. Third person offers a more cinematic look at Grace's movements and the ruined world around her. Neither views are strictly better, they just offer different ways to experience the same moment. You might crouch in eerie corridors with a burning fuse, wondering if there's something watching. Then flip to a third person to plan a quick escape route once the monster shows up. Monsters encounters here aren't about flashy gunplay. The first creature you meet is the humanoid figure with enormous, blank eyes that track your every move. It feels like a stalker more than an enemy you can outgun. Most of your time with Grace will be about running, hiding, and using minimal tools. Fuses to power the generators, lighters for lights, quick hit synergy that replaces the old healing spray. Every resource counts because the world is so stripped back. You'll solve puzzles in the collapsed hotel rooms and abandoned stations, piecing together fragments of notes and diaries to reveal Umbrella Corporation's secrets. Leon S. Kennedy, the series' longtime hero, perhaps may appear as well. Early reports suggest you play sections of the game as Leon, focusing more on firepower and close-quarter combat. If Grace's story is about evasion and investigation, Leon's may lean towards shootouts and creative weapon uses. Think classic Resident Evil 4 flair, where you rescue survivors and taking down waves of monsters with a shotgun or throwing knives when ammo is low. Switching between the chapters should give the game a rough balance, suspenseful, nerve-wracking stealth with Grace, and high-intensity action with Leon. There are even rumors of third playable role, flashbacks as Alisa Crashcroft, believed to be Grace's mother. Now, these sequences might fill in gaps about what really happened at the hotel 8 years ago, and why the family was targeted. If true, you'll see past tragedies play out in real time, understanding why Grace carries such a heavy burden. These flashbacks also help tie Resident Evil 9 deeper into the series' lore, showing how the Umbrella Corporation's experiments have lingered long after Raccoon City fell. Visually, Resident Evil 9 runs on the Capcom's RE engine, which has powered everything from Resident Evil 7's terrifying mansions to a sleek, fast-paced Resident Evil 4 remake. Requiem keeps the high level of detail, especially in the tight indoor settings. The peeling wallpaper, the flickering light bulbs, the dusty floors, it all adds to a feeling of decay. In wider areas you'll notice the ruins of firebombed streets and shattered car hoods, but the real show is inside the old hotel and police station. Those landmarks from the classic games return, but warped, twisted by the time and whatever new horror Umbrella has unleashed. Early hands-on previews from Summer Game Fest spoke highly of the atmosphere. In one demo you play as Grace in a half-collapsed hallway, lit only by the candles. Every burst of static of her walkie-talkie hinted at the outwardly forces. The story just doesn't hinge on surviving monsters. Grace's investigation dives into the shady operations of Umbrella's corporation after the city's destruction. You'll sift through confidential files and interviews from few survivors left, one mysterious figure in the trailer called Grace, the Chosen One, hinting at the supernatural or bioengineering forces beyond simple viruses. That narrative thread promises more than just virus gone wrong. It suggests a purpose behind the horrors and the destiny Grace can't ignore. Puzzle design in Resident Evil 9 feels like a return to form. You won't spend ages stuck on single brain teasers, but every challenge fits the unfolding story. Finding a fuse in a flooded basement, figuring out how to reroute power in an old generator room, or aligning mirrors to reflect lights into a hidden switch. Each puzzle rewards you with a key item or a new hallway to explore. There's no needless padding. Every area feels like a part of the Grace's timeline, moving her towards the truth about her mother's death and the wider Umbrella conspiracy. Sound and the music played a huge role here as well. Footsteps echoes on the broken tiles, distance crashes hint at the lurking terrors, and whispered voices slide across the ambient score when Grace nears the critical story moments. Capcom's sound team has a long history of making you tense up at every creak and whisper, and Requiem promises to push the tension further, especially in the darker, tighter sections where you can't see more than just a few feet ahead. And by February of 2026, when Requiem launches on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and of course PC, gamers will have traversed a ruined Raccoon City, uncovered family secrets, and faced horrors both human and inhuman. The flexible camera system, the split focus on stealthy survival and intense combat, and the layered narrative all aim to deliver a fresh yet familiar Resident Evil experience. This is a story-driven, atmosphere-rich title that asks you to care about its characters and the dark world that they inhabit. Now, of course, if you're into this sort of a survival horror that mixes tight exploration, careful resource management, and layered storytelling, Resident Evil 9 Requiem looks like it will deliver. With so many flashback chapters and a plot that weaves personal tragedy into a corporate nightmare, Requiem promises to stand out among the recent horror titles. And at that, thank you so much for watching, like and subscribe. I'll see you guys all, and have a wonderful day.
They're coming.
I know now that you're the one that I've been searching for. The special one. The chosen one. Miss Ashcroft.
Investigating all these strange deaths, huh?
We need to keep our voices down.
Have you seen the same shit I've seen?
Please know that you are my hope.
Everyone's gone.
Stay away from us!